right, let's go. So as usual, we're gonna start with the brows. Nothing no different here, honey. Felt tip liner. Get that design. Sculpt the brow the way you want it to be. I'm using just a Essence black liner here. Any one of them will do. There are several on the Essence line. They're all different. One will say waterproof, one says long lasting. I just grab whichever one that Ulta has available, and that's what I use. So we're gonna get into it. So here I have my face just primed with primer and nothing on the brows just yet. Sometimes I will use a little bit of a mattifying primer on my brows, but today I didn't do anything. We're going to use Dripped in Honey, and this line has pomade, palette, and lashes. So I'm going to make sure that I put all of the information and the discount code so that you can go over there and use it. So I received 2 pomades from Dripped in Honey. One is in the shade Ebony and the other one is in dark brown. And on this video, I am using dark brown, which you can see that it is actually darker than what it looks in a jar. So that was a plus because that kind of let me know if it looks really brown in the jar, but when I put it on my skin, it comes out dark brown. That means that Ebony is going to be like, okay, deepest of deepest. So I like that. So when I change my hair color or want to change the style of my brow, if I want it like really, really dark in the back, I know to use both of them. So I just used one today. And here we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're just going to fill in the actual brow shape that I designed with the liner. And we're just putting it in with just a regular spoolie on one end and bristles on the other end. We'll put a little bit of pomade on the brush. Start in the back and put most of the product in the back. And as you go to the front, you can kind of blend it out forward. And if you need any more, you just come back from the back and pick up some of the product. So I'm doing same thing I always do. Blend and brush, blend and brush, blend and brush. So when you first start your brow, you may think, oh my gosh, it just does not look right. But the brow does not take that beautiful shape until you start to clean it up. So don't panic. You can go ahead and fix that, do anything you want. So here I put it on my hand so you can see how creamy it is and that is the shade. All right. So to clean up the brow, we're going to use my Wet n Wild brush that I get from the Dollar Tree, Walmart, any drugstore has them. And we're going to use Playing in Makeup by Yolondo, the eyeshadow foundation base in the shade H. So there are 5 shades in the foundation bases. So I'm using H, and it's about the one that's the closest to my skin tone. I actually can use it for different parts of my face if I wanted to, just to do a light coverage and not do a full face of foundation, because it actually covers really, really good and it doesn't dry really quick. So it gives you some blending time, and it doesn't dry like chalky. So I like that part about it. So we're going to go under the brow, clean it up, and do the same thing to the other side. So now we're starting to get the shape to be exactly what we want to be. You can cut some of it off. You can keep it the same size. You can thin it down. It just kind of depends on where you are. And for me, it just depends on the day, honey. The brow can change from day to day. You just never know. I just jump in and say, you know what? We're going to do AncestryBrow.com. Yes, all the time. All the time. So we are creating that look that you saw in the beginning, and it's going to be so gorgeous, so colorful. And listen, just hang around. Do not leave, okay? All right, so now we're going to clean up the top of the brows with the same eyeshadow foundation base from Playing in Makeup by Yolondo, and we're still in the shade H. We will change shades when we go to the lower lid and start applying the eyeshadow, but we're going to stay with H. and use it for cleaning up and actually making those brows just pop. All right, so we're putting a little bit across the top of the brow and going down with the shape that I designed and pulling it up. So in pulling it up, I'm going to make sure that I don't really have a heavy line of the foundation base there, the eyeshadow foundation base. Okay, that's a lot to say. Maybe I need to break it down. EFB. Okay, maybe that works better for me. So that when we start to blend the foundation into it and we get to complexion, it won't have just that really heavy area above the brow. It'll just blend in. Okay. All right. So we are looking at them like, okay, well, they're looking pretty good. They're related, but I still need a little bit of, just a little bit on the back of this one, so we don't pick up any more product. We just kind of go in and drag some of the product that's already there, kind of brush it down. And on this side, I'm thinking, you know what? Cut a little bit off. And go back and cut a little bit off. But y'all are looking good. Y'all got some, what? Y'all are related, okay? Y'all are related. Yes, honey. Yes. Loving it. All right. So we're going to take my brush and just blend out that eyeshadow foundation base, that EFB. Okay. Blend it out and make just that smooth canvas. So when we do apply the foundation on the forehead, everything will just blend in. And when we apply the next base on the lid, it'll blend in, right? Look at that. Perfect shade. Like, it's a perfect shade. There's one that's darker than this one, but it's too dark for me to use as a true coverage. I probably would mix the two together, and I could even use it for some contouring. All right, so now we're gonna stick with the same company, Plain and Makeup by Yolondo, the eyeshadow foundation base, and we're gonna go with the lightest one. All right, the very lightest one is white, and we're gonna add it to the lid, and we're using one drop. I put it on my hand because I find when I put it on my lid, I put way too much. All right, like if I just squeeze it from the tube to the lid. So I'm gonna take what's left of that first drop and put it on the other eye, and I'm gonna go back and get some more because I need just a little bit more for this side. We're gonna pat it in, and again, it doesn't really dry fast. It gives you enough working time so that you can do both sides and get the coverage that you need, put it where you want it, and still have that time to go back and blend it out. There are some products that you will use that tend to dry up really, 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 really quick, and you don't have enough time, or they don't dry quick enough and it takes forever. So this one has like the perfect time for me. So what I'm going to do is take the brush and just start softening out the line where the brown and the white meet. And from there, I'm going to go on around the outer eye and around that inner eye. So I'm going to take a different brush that I would use for cut crease, concealer, and I'm just going to pat that product in, making sure that the lids actually get that product, and, you know, hey, don't get to moving, all right? Don't get to moving. And just keep tapping, all right? So this process is no different from any process that I would do as far as the blending. I want to make sure that that concealer, that foundation, that primer, the eyeshadow base, whatever I'm using at any point in my face, that it is blended. So now we can go ahead and move into the next part, which is Hunty, the palette from Dripped in Honey. So this palette has 12 pans, and I've used each shade of this palette on various looks, but today we're going to do 3. And we're going to do 3 shades, and you're going to see how the palette, it is bright and vibrant. And listen, when I tell you fallout is 0, okay, as long as I remember to tap my brush and leave it in the pan, all right? But I don't even have to really worry about tapping because as you're going to see that it really has zero. It's very, very little on fallout, okay? Very, very little. So the product, when you tap your brush into it, we're going to go into the dark green now. When you tap your brush into it, it actually picks up that product really, really good. And then not only does it pick it up well on the brush, it sticks to the product on your eyelid and it pops through. So we started with the lighter green and now we're in the darker green. We're using one brush. One side will be for the dark green and one side will be for the lighter green. And you'll be able to see how they just kind of blend and flow together. It's going to be a gorgeous eye. Just hang on and see. We'll go back into the lighter green and just tap and then flip the brush and do the same thing on the other side. Light green, and we're going to tap that brush and flip it over for the darker side. All right. And just make sure that you are applying it everywhere that you've placed your eyeshadow base so that you can see where you need to go. You know, do I need to put a little bit more here, there, wherever? Now we're going to get the second brush. So we only use 2 brushes for this look, which is really amazing. Really, really amazing. And we're going to use that yellow. All right. So it's not chalky. It actually applies really, really good and even with the green, the yellow, the light green, and the dark green. And now I'm going to go back to the green brushes and do a little bit of darker green right where the light green and the dark green and the yellow meet. On the opposite side, take the concealer brush, make sure that we are flat, and go into the yellow. This eye is gorgeous, right? Gorgeous. I'm loving it. It's giving me like a beautiful butterfly. It is coming together so pretty. Look at that. Look at that. 3 amazing shades. No cut crease. No cut crease at all. We went ahead and put that foundation base, eyeshadow foundation base on the lid and just started. No cut crease, but it looks amazing. And you can do this. Just grab this palette and go for it. Look how pretty that is. Look how pretty that is. They just blended so well. Love it. Love it. And we're just making sure that we got everything even. Everybody is agreeing. Everybody's saying, hey, I love this eye. Look how pretty that is. I'm loving it. Looking like a beautiful butterfly. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and just take a little bit of that green. I feel like I needed a little more rounding on this side. So I'm coming back and just rounding out those edges just to make sure that when we get ready to do under eye, and we won't have to really focus too much because we've already started it. So we're going to line the eye, and I'm just going to use that same liner that I started with from Essence. And we're just going to start from the back and create that line. And I go halfway in, and I'm going to fill it in. And then after I fill in this first section, then I will come across from the inner corner and connect. So here I'm not doing a large wing. I prefer a smaller wing. But there are times that I do a larger wing. And when I do a larger wing, it's the same process. I just start higher on the outer corner and do half. And then I kind of fill in. Same process, just wider. So we'll do that on another look. How about that? All right. So we got one eye line. Let's do the other eye. We're going to do the same thing. And I take my time when I'm doing it. You have to take into everything that's going on with your eye. Like, do you have any extra folds? On one of my eyes at the lower corner, I have a mole. So I have to take that into consideration. Like, am I going to have to work around it this day? What's going on with this eye? So don't rush it. Figure out what you need to do for your eye and go for it. Go for it. So I do prefer a liquid liner, but I find that if you need a little more, uh, goodness, let's see. If you need to be able to draw it a little bit easier, sometimes the pen will work better. So when I'm doing a live video versus this video for YouTube, it's a little different because with the live video, I can actually talk through while I'm doing it and answer questions about it. So for this one, we'll just use the felt tip. So now I'm getting into the foundation, and I am using Morphe foundation. I am using two different shades. I'm using F420 and F360. 360 is the lighter one right under the eye, and 420 is the darker one. So it is never a abnormal thing for me to use more than one shade. I normally use two. It just kind of depends on the foundation and what I'm looking for. So this foundation actually gives me really, really good coverage. I don't like a heavy buildup of foundation. I will use 2 drops of foundation and try to make it work from there. So as you can see, we didn't need much and it is covered. I already had primer on my face. There is no color correcting on my face, so it actually covers my moles and things of that nature. And look how it blends in really good. So just go ahead and pat in your foundation. I did spray a little bit of the Morphe setting spray on it. It is the Jeffree Star collab with them. And now we're going to do under the eye. I'm using the Playing in Makeup by Yolondo, the eyeshadow foundation base in the shade H directly underneath the eye. And I think that is B. I may be wrong, but I'll go back and check that part, the lighter one. So I want to brighten up under the eye. I want to make it look like I'm woke, honey. If I got a colorful eye like this and this eye is popping, it's no need for the bottom eyes underneath it to look like it's still sleeping, right? No, 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 honey. So let's go. We're going to blend that out, tap that nose and right above the brow, right? And just blend it out. Take your time, blend it out. And then I'm going to let it sit just a few minutes before we actually set it. I just want it to kind of settle down a little bit. I'm going to use a wand from a different product that is empty, but I'm using a little bit of the H eyeshadow foundation base from Playing in Makeup. So now we're going to go into the setting powder. So I start off my setting powder with a brush, and that's so that I can actually use a thin coating and then not allow it to crack and build up in the creases underneath my eyes. I'm in a nifty 50 glow, honey, so listen, things happen. So we're using the shade medium, and just setting, just really setting, making sure that it does not crease under the eye. And as you see, the powder works good with that actual foundation, eyeshadow foundation base. Tap the nose, above, right around the mouth, right everywhere that we put that eyeshadow foundation base. And that was the shade medium. Okay, so we'll leave it alone and move on to the next part. We're going to start sculpting the face. I'm going to use my Dr. J. Slay's face brush and Playing in Makeup by Yolondo Mixed Race Contour Palette. The brush has 2 sides to it, so I'm using the fluffier side to start the sculpting, and I'm using the lighter brown to sculpt it. And then we'll flip the brush and then jump into the darker shade for contour. All right, so the brush has, like I said, 2 sides. One is kind of fluffy and one is straight. I don't really know how to explain that part, but go get the brush and you'll see what I'm talking about. But look at it come through, honey. Look at how that sculpting and contouring is bae. Okay? And we're going to use the longer side, the one we use for contour. Hit the side of the nose, bring it down, dust it across, Yes. You know me. Gotta keep blending. Gotta go back and forth. Don't worry, we're not done with the nose. I'm coming back. Don't you worry. Look at that. See? Told you. You just have to hold on and wait. All right? So we're going to go back into sculpting. And we're going to do a couple, just a little dabs here and there. We're going to go into the contour powder. Go back a little dab. And the whole thing is a contour palette as it is listed. But I've used this for bronzing, my shadows. You know, it just kind of depends on what you want to do. It is multifunctional, okay? But look at that. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous or what? All right. So here I am looking for something else. Looking. Uh-oh. We're going to go ahead and start the highlight. So this is Planet Makeup by Yolondo, and it is the Date Night Glow. Let me tell you. For this look, and I'm going to use my DJS Beauty fan brush. Spray my face and spray my brush. All right. I'm going to shake up the canister, and when I untop it, whatever's in the cap is what I'm going to use. So for this look, I really wanted a softer highlight. I wanted something that would be brown and melanin popping like me, okay? I'm going to build it up what's in the cap, but you will see that it's not going to overpower. Like, it is soft enough for me to wear with this look. And if I wanted to, like, really glow it up, I could just keep building it up. So, look. I know you see. Wait, you wasn't ready. And that is just what was in the cap, okay? All right, so now we're just going to dust the forehead. And this fan brush is small enough to catch every angle that I need to catch. So I love that part about it, and it's light and fluffy. It's not a stiff fan brush because I have some that are stiff, but it's nice, light and fluffy. All right, look at that. Perfect. Just enough for this look. All right, so we're going to grab the lips. So we're going to go into the Sasha Lippy and the Safe Lip Gloss from Planet Makeup by Yolondo. We're going to use Sasha as the outer part. And the doe foot on this really is nice. Like, it's really thin and it's angled. So it allows me to just get exactly what I need and get that shape for my lips. So I love that part about it. And we're going to go ahead and use it. It's one of my favorite shades from the line. I actually like Safe and Sasha and Nude. Those are like my favorites from the line. I think I'm kind of falling in love with Milani also. So, but these three here are like my favorites. So you'll see me using Safe, Sasha, and Nude pretty much on every look because I think that, listen, I'm kind of safe when it comes to lips. I make sure that I'm not really taking over with the lips. So yeah, that's what we did. And look how pretty that is. All right, so we're going to go ahead now and get a little bit of the Secret Setting Powder, which is the lighter shade from Planet Makeup by Yolando. And this is where I will use a sponge right at the end. And I'm just going to make sure that we are a little bright under the eye and that nose will not crease on me, okay? So there we go. And I touched the side of my lips, but listen, it's all right. It's okay. We're going to do just a light reverse contour right there. Not much, just a little. I'm using my Dr. J sponge. It's really soft. And listen, y'all got to go grab everything, okay? This look is so easy and so affordable. These brands are all black owned brands and they always are very supportive. So please support them. We're going to go back into that Dripped in Honey palette and go under the eye. We're going to start with the darker green. And right under the darker green, we'll go into the lighter green. And that's the two shades that we'll use for making this eye complete towards the end, okay? And we're almost done. We are almost done with this look. Honey, all right? We are almost done with this look. It is gorgeous. It is easy. The products are affordable. Listen, where else could you find such a gorgeous look than right here with our Melanin Poppin' sisters, right? All right. Yes, honey. Yes. All right. So now what I'm going to do is move on to the next phase of this look, this gorgeous look. We're going to go ahead and dip into my favorite setting powder, which is DERMABLEND. The shade that I will use will be Warm Saffron. And I'm going to use the Kiki face brush from Planet Makeup by Yolondo. And I'm just going to dust everything off with my Warm Saffron. All right? Look at that. So this brush is, as you can see, the dome of it is big and it's wide, but it's really light and fluffy. So I like it better for finishing off with my dusting powders. I really like it for that. All right. So let's put some mascara on. Y'all know what's coming up next. Y'all know what's coming up next, okay? When I tell you the lash that we're about to use is going to set your soul afire. Like, it's going to wake up everything in you, and you're going to have to run and get this lash. All right? So you're going to get the palette and the brow pomade from Dripped in Honey. You're going to get, look at that eye. Look at that eye. You're going to get the Lippy, the foundation base for your eyes, the contour palette, and a Kiki brush from Planet Makeup. And you're going to get that face brush, the awesome face brush, and the fan brush from Dr. J, right? That's what you're going to do. And then you're going to get the lashes from Hypnotik. So we're going to use Hypnotik Vanity, the clear glue. And we're going to throw this lash on. Just watch. Just watch and wait for it. Watch how gorgeous this is. Look. Honey, do you see that? Oh my gosh. Do you see that? Babe, come on. Come on. Come through, lash. A lash will change your look in a hot second, okay? In a hot second. Look at that. And that glue is nothing to be played with, honey. It dries so quick. Look at it. What? So now let's get a little blush. And we're just going to go right in front of that highlight, right? We're going to use one of Dr. J brushes. And we're going to get the peach shade out of the Saharan palette by Juvia's. All right. And just go right there in the front, right across the forehead. Bring a little color right at the chin, back to the face. Honey. Spray. What? Take that Kiki brush and tap everybody again. And that highlight is still popping, okay? Let's take that bonnet off, all right? And brush, get these bangs right, okay? And baby, baby girl, there it is.